Hi everyone, welcome back to Hobby Hangout on Tuesdays. For those who are watching, we're going to be painting up Yazneg, who's literally just come in the post. I have done a little start on the foot model, just messing around with the skin colors, but we're not doing the foot model mainly today, we're doing the mounted model. So we are going to just start off by getting the first layer of color on the warg. I want to do the warg kind of like a hyena, so we're going to be doing that. So first off, we are going to be starting off with, and got all my colors laid out. So pallid bone. So this is like a yellowish brown. And what we're going to do, just get that in our pot. So this is quite a pale browny color. What we're going to do is we are just going to get that all over the wag. We don't want to paint the rider. If we do get some on the cape and stuff, it's not a problem. It's a lighter color, so when we go over with a darker color, we'll be able to sort that out later on. So just doing this because it's the largest piece of the model, and we just want to get this on so that we can get ready to do the next layer once we've done a bit of work on Yazneg as well. So but yeah, so this is the start of my new army. I'm going to be doing Azog's Hunters for the new edition, and should be a lot of fun. I think from a rule set, Yazneg, from what I've been told, was a bit of a laughing stock in the previous edition, but now he's pretty good. So, you know, he's been boosted up to fight 5. He can actually fight heroes rather than get slain by them. You know, and whilst Azog's near, he needs to prove his loyalty, so he gets a lot better in the fight. So yeah, should be good fun. What armies are you guys looking forward to doing? If you're joining live or if you are catching up, I'd love to hear what you're thinking of doing in the new year. I'll say the new film will be out this weekend, the War of the Rohirrim film, so it should be really good fun. I need a little bit more bony matter here. All right. Just going to get the whole hyena. Just going to leave his tippy toes maybe alone, just because we'll probably paint those a different color. And yeah, I think the next model we're probably going to be painting on the stream is probably going to be Azog, I think. We've got him from Dandelion Miniatures, I believe, was what I was recommended the one to use. Because as much as I do like this model for Yazneg, the GW version of Azog is a bit scrawny from what I've been told. And I just want a beefy Azog, so I've just been recommended to use that one. So once again, the issue with white miniatures is you've really got to have a good look, and luckily with the camera being so close in, I find it quite helpful to have it, because now I'm able to see a bit closer. So when we're painting, the first thing we always paint is the skin and all the sort of fleshy colors, because they tend to be, especially on sort of models that have a lot of armor and like cloth and clothing and stuff like that, there tends to be not as much flesh. So when you're doing like darker colors, obviously if you go over your skin once you've done it, then you tend to get a bit, you know, nosed up. So it's always important to, I always find, just to get the flesh done and the lighter colors and just work your way upwards. So instead of going from dark to light, just go from light to dark, especially with these kind of paints as well. These are the speed paints. from Army Painter. So if anyone's interested, this color we're doing right now is Pallid Born. The color we are going to be doing for Yazneg, for his skin, we're going to be doing, so a lot of the pictures I've seen, they seem to be very much very pinky. It's probably a word, sort of pinky. And if you I had a good look at the images, and I've got it just up just for reference, but Yazneg is very sort of pasty, kind of greeny coloured. So we've got a nice little mixture, which is why I was messing around with the foot model first before I did that. So yeah. So yeah, so the main thing we wanted to do for this is I just kind of wanted the wag to be kind of like a nice beigey brown. I wanted like very nice hyena colors. We're going to get some stripes on it as well. And once again, I've got a nice photo reference for that. And I'm already really liking this color that we're getting already. You know, and what you could do is if you didn't want to take it one step further and blend any more colors in, you could literally just take this color and you could just dry brush the sort of like where there isn't any fur. So like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a shaved cat or a dog. So when you take the fur off, they tend not to be the same color as the fur. So you get these kind of like skinny patches, and you could just brighten those up with sort of creamy colors, and then you could blend that into the fur, and then that gives you a sort of a more natural skin tone for an animal, which is what we'll be doing as well, to be fair. We just got some new dry brushes, actually. They're really, really nice. I'll see if I can get the link for the shop that we got them from. It was from when we attended a venue called Battleground in Middlesbrough, and basically met the store owner for that shop, and it was really, really nice. So we are going to just do his teeth the same color, just because I want to get the inside of the mouth, because it's been sprayed and it's all been sprayed white. We want to make sure that we get everything. So, and this is once again the reason why we do the light colors. We do the light colors because when you put the darker colors over the top, you can always go back over what you've done. It also makes it a bit easier as well, is if you do a lighter color, it's always a lot easier to put a lighter color over it. So like for the teeth, for example, we're going to be doing like a different shade from what we've got here. So we're using skeleton horde. So what we want to do is we'll want to put white back over the teeth, and then we'll do that color with the skeleton horde, and then that should be a lot easier to apply the white. So we're just having a quick check, make sure we've not missed anything. It's a bit gutting about the gaps. Sadly, these resin minis are a bit of a tough one, but it's fine. So yeah, I think it looks like we've got everywhere. Just maybe a bit in there. Just get that bit there. And then yeah, I think that's good. So that's our first layer. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to just wash our brush. You need to do that. And we're going to get the skin done for Yazneg. So the color we're going to go for is, we have got maggot skin. So this is like a rotteny, greeny yellow. And we're going to mix it with howling sand. Howling sand is like a yellowish gray. I don't know why it's not focusing as well, but it's fine. So, we're going to mix those two together. So let's get that. And I did a little test of this earlier. So, and it's just going to be 1-to-1. We're not going to apply any more, any less. So if we do 3 drips of one, we're doing 3 drips of the other. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to get our color now, which is howling sands. Just get a bit of grime off of that. And then we go 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. Okay. And we're just going to give that a quick mix. As you can see, it's going a nice pale color, and it'll all make sense as well once we've washed the miniature. So the only thing we've noticed is the more beigeier and more paler you get with the army painters, the more runny the color is. So So anyway, so I'm just going to give that a wash now. I'm quite happy with that. I think that's a really nice color. It's very accurate to how he looks in the films, and that's more what we wanted to go for. So we're just going to get that to the side, get our model back. Don't need too much here. And then we're just going to do the skin. Just the skin, mind. We're not going to do his clothing or anything. And don't worry, this will all just sit into his kind of recesses as well. So it's not a problem. Just gotta concentrate for this bit, guys, because the hands and the face are quite small. So we're just going to get his sort of hands here done. Don't want to do too much. Just need a little bit on the brush when you're doing this. But yeah, what sort of hobbies are you guys working on? What armies are you thinking of doing? Love to hear it. And just get maybe a bit of banter going, guys. Yeah, and I think there's been quite a few armies that have caught my attention. I really want to do Erebor Reclaimed. I think that could be quite fun with sort of Foreign and Killy, Philly, Balin, Dwalin, Oin, and all those guys. I really love the rules where they can use kind of like each other's might, will, and fate. So very cool. So I've just got that. I'm just going to have a quick check. And what we want to do is just wash our brush, and we don't want too much paint to sit in the eyes, so I'm just going to use my brush to kind of soak some of that up. You can see we've kind of got that green pale going on, and like I say, don't worry about that. And hopefully when that rests, that's going to look really great against sort of the bony, blacky clothes. Speaking of bone, I'm going to do the bones around his back here, so you can see it goes down his shoulders. So down his shoulders here, and down his wrists as well. So we're going to do that because that's another light color. So let's just grab Bony Matter. So this is like a pale brown. It's a very, very nice color for doing sort of skeleton bones and things like that. So great if you're thinking about doing Tomb Kings for Old World. You know, just one coat of that, wash brush, you're done, easy peasy. So I'm just going to give that a quick mix. Just make sure we're happy with that shade. It's a bit too browny. Nah, we're not going to go with that. We're just going to go with Old Faithful, just Skeleton Horde. So don't need the palette for this, guys. So I'm just open the pot here. Just get that a quick dry. Go down to the right side. So this is our second stream. So obviously, any feedback, great. Love to hear it. So we're just going to go to town with Skeleton Horde. Don't worry about it looking too much like the Warg skin, because that's going to be changing in literally about 10-ish minutes, because we are going to be putting the next layer on top, which is going to go on all the fur, specifically the fur anyway. Once again, I'm just going to be a bit quiet just for painting this, because once again, I don't want to have to go back on myself here and basically go back 2 steps. Once again, it's fine if we get it on the white because that is going to be going like darker colors, so blacks and browns and stuff. So there we go, just got to get the back there. As you can see, there's kind of a bit of cloth coming through here, so we don't want to do all of this side. We just want to kind of do this section that I'm doing now. And then the same here, just kind of want to get all that bone. We can go back over this as well afterwards, and just to like get any of these white patches, because it's one of the downsides of like these less like as viscous paints, I guess, is sometimes they do decide to get a mind of their own, and you've got to go back and do something else. So yeah, just want to make sure I get the back of his neck there. So there you go, we've got some bony colour going on now. And then I'm just going to go down the edges of these bones here, because although we've done a pretty decent coat, it's actually getting the underside of the bones where we'll tend to find that we've missed. And it'll always be that one right at the end where you just overlook the model and you get that one angle and you just look at it and you're like, missed the patch. And it'll just do your head in. So just going to check, make sure I'm pretty happy. He has got some fur here, but I think what we're going to be doing with that is, because he's going to have black clothing, we're going to maybe get some greys in there rather than more beige, because we don't want more beige. We're already going to get that with the wag and stuff. So as you can see, the wag's still drying, so we're going to do a little bit more color. I think we're just going to make a start on his lance here. So his lance is kind of like a mixture of spear and brown or wood. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the wood color on. Just going to get this pot of paint put away. Do not want a accident happening where it goes all over the desk. So I'm just going to get that there. So this is the color we're about to put on is called Enchanted Steel, and this is from the Metallics range from Army Painter. Honestly, easiest way I've ever done metal in my life. So Enchanted Steel is like a very grey silver. So it's not given its name, it's not super bright, but once it's dried, it gives a very nice silvery tone. So yeah, so we're going to get that done, and then we're probably just going to get this spear done. So I think for the spear, I didn't grab this color out, so I do apologize, but it's just with me browns, which are just here. So the color we're going to go for, we're just going to take a nice easy one, dark wood. Dark wood is perfect for sort of like, you know, wood color. We do have other wood colors, but they're more like reds and stuff like that, and that's not what we're after. We're actually after browns. So just gonna get that there because we don't need too much of it. So all right, so we can start off by getting the start of it here, but we want to be extra careful when we're painting around his hands. So it's just going to take a couple of seconds. Sorry about that, guys. That's just my phone going off. I'll change that in a minute. So this is the harder bit. So I'm just going to get a smaller brush, guys, whilst I paint this, because I do not want to mess this bit up. take our artist brush here. Okay, don't need that much. So it's just got a smaller point on it, so it means we can get the colours we want. And we can push into where his fingers are, just kind of have a little bit more control going around, because the last thing we want to do is kind of mess this up. Normally I'd save this for last, but because we're waiting on all of this drying, I'm going to take some time doing Yazneg. It's kind of one of the things with mounted models is you've got, like, once you're doing the mount, if you're waiting for something to dry, you can always work on something else. Yeah, I'm just gonna just a little bit there, just sort of in between his thumb and his finger. There we go. Right, so there we go, guys. So that is that done. So once that's dried, that's going to look really nice, I think. So let's just get on with a bit of black. Time to darken up the colours on him now. So no. Still going to stick with a small brush for this, just because it's a very small area. I'll tell you what, let's just be simple. I'm going to start with the underside. So we're going to just get the inside bits first, just because then it gives me a bit of freeway with the, or a bit of leeway with the right, there we go. And then I think what we're going to do is, once we've got all this black done, is as before, I'll probably here with a nice dry brush of some greys, just to brighten it up just a smidge. Doesn't need to be too crazy, it just needs to be kind of enough. Enough where it kind of is able to show the detail in his actual sort of outfit. There we go. It's always the hard bit, getting behind the neck. Always brick it a little bit there. Right. Luckily, the other good thing is he doesn't have any reins. That's one thing I always struggle with, is painting the reins. So, yeah. Oh, so this is what I was saying. I've just literally got that in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wash the brush off. I'm going to have to, yeah. So I'm going to have to go back over and do that skin. It's a bit annoying, but it's fine. It does happen. It's fine. I'll say we'll do some. There is always going to be some collateral damage sometimes, so it's not a problem. I'm doing my best not to hit the wolf this time. Had one error. Let's not get another, eh? Yeah, but I think overall, the main reason I wanted this model out of all of the Azog's Hunters ranges, I just thought this model's really cool. It's one I want to use in my game, even if I don't use anyone else. Um, it's just awesome, the posing and stuff like that. So there we go. Be a bit careful, but it should be fine. I've not had a chance to use these dry brushes yet, so I'm super excited to give this guy a dry brush and in some greys and stuff. I think that'll be really good. And once we've done this, we're going to be ready to get the next coat on to our hyena. So the color we're going to go for the hyena is going to be, it's going to be Sangolem. So Sangolem's like a very browny yellow. So, and also once you make a mistake, like what I did here with the chest, don't panic. Don't. Obviously, I did try to get it as quick as I could, but sadly, I just didn't have anything. Let it dry and then go back and fix it. Don't try and paint over it or anything like that. Just always just take time, and don't worry about it too much, because at the end of the day, it's a very thin layer of paint. It'll dry quick enough, and you'll be able to fix your error there. Right, so I'm just trying to get into there. Okay, very small bit there, and then we've just got this other bit of black here to do. Right, I think that is all the black. Other than that chest, which I'm a bit annoyed about, but that's fine. It looks like that's dried, but we're going to give it a second. Right, so now that we're pretty much dry over the fur, what we're going to do now, color-wise, is we're going to take our sun golem. So it looks quite yellow, but it is a brown, so... Right, and then what we're going to do is we are going to just grab all the fur now pretty much, because we don't want to hit the skin color, because we're actually going to brighten that up. But what we're going to do is just get that over the top, so you can see that really starting to brown out. There we go. And the reason why I didn't want to do this color straight away just over the fur is because even though it wouldn't change too much, it'll actually be a lot lighter and I didn't want it as light. I wanted it to try and blend in with the actual fur. So there we go. And then we're just going to do the same on the other side, just to get that majority of the fur painted. And then once we're done with this, we'll just take 5 minutes, just 5-10 minutes, just to let it dry, and we'll start painting the foot model. All right, let's just get the little tufts of his little mohawk here. He's just got some bits just kind of going around here. There we go. So I'll say we're just getting all the fur. Just make sure we hit that, and then obviously underneath, because it would be fur underneath. So we're just going to get that right there. Right, and then we're just going to get all these little pieces of fur just kind of dyed around now, and hopefully we'll get that. So just gonna hit that. This time we don't want to lever it on like we just did. We just want to get all the patches there. And then same again on the other side. And just a few bits behind his leg. Just a few bits there. There we go. Shorts. We got these bits here as well, because he does have some there. There we go. Let's get those patches going. So now we're getting that nice little contrast in the colours there. I think the only thing that we might want to do is maybe just so what we'll do as well is once this is dry, is we'll do a nice little wash just around the areas, just to kind of shade them a bit, so it should hopefully blend those in a bit better. Okay. Right. Brill. So we've got that done now. So, oh, we've just missed his tail. Can't forget that. It's little hairs on his tail there. Cool. So that's the wire, not more or less done. We've still got a fair bit to do, but whilst we're waiting for that to dry, we go back a couple of steps and we are going to paint the foot model. So, oh, there you go. So we'll just get all this bone done and get that on there next. So back to Old Faithful, the Skeleton Horde. This has by far probably been the colour I use for all my skin colours pretty much. It's a really nice colour to be fair, and right, so nice and straightforward. Once we've got Yazneg done on the foot, we're just gonna probably go back and sort out his chest on his on the mounted version, just because we gnarls that up. Luckily, that shouldn't take too long. It should just be a case of just putting a little patch of white basically over the section we've done, and then just repainting it. So. Once again, we're just going to get all of his kind of cloth sort of black and stuff. And then once again, once we've worked out what we're doing on the mounted version for the kind of feathers on his back here, we'll dry brush that on. Oh, excuse us everyone, my cat is wanting in. But what I'll do is I'll just give this a... We're out to the big brush now. We've done the hard bit, which was doing sort of the inners of his coat and stuff, make sure we don't get any black on his chest and stuff like we've done already. So I think this week we have a doubles event on. Myself and Alex are going to our first doubles event. She's not played any events, so that should be really fun. We've got a very exciting Christmas army planned. We can't reveal it yet because we've kind of kept it a secret from everyone that's going. But obviously we will be putting some pictures and maybe a quick short just so you guys can see all the work in progress that we did on it, and obviously the finished product. Let's just say it's Christmas themed. Yeah. I'm hoping he just never gets dismounted and I never have to use the foot model, so it should be all right. Never gonna happen. Everyone's gonna be like, "I'm going for the wag," because that takes away. Because that's part of the reason why no one liked him in the previous edition, is because he was using a two-handed axe. Uh, so the issue with that is he was -1 to the penalty. He had a -1 to fight essentially in the dual roll, so it always meant the highest he could ever get was a 5, which sucks, but this is what it is. All right, I think that is all the black on this guy, so that's that done. So I'm going to go back to our other Yazneg. Just see how that's turning out now. So it's starting to dry quite nicely. It is just a small shame that we've got to wait for obviously this, because this is what's going to take the most time. But that's not a problem. So we'll see how we get on. I think the next thing we're probably going to do is just going to get these boots painted. So we're going to go back to our enchanted steel, and as you can maybe see there, it's kind of gone that like shiny grey, which is really nice because it then themes in with all the greys that we're going to be doing on the model later. So. Oh. Just want to double check to make sure that chest is dry, because the last thing you want to do is just start painting when there's wet paint, because then it just gets worse. Just gonna hold him at certain angles just so we get those patches there. The hard bit is going to be getting right into these corners, because obviously should be right. And then just getting those little patches like that there. Right. Let's just get his other gauntlet on his leggy. So, yeah. We might go to the small brush. Oh no, there we go. It's a bit of a better angle. Sometimes it's just a case of finding the right the right angle that works for you. Sorry if you can't see as well. Sadly, I need to make sure I get the light here as well. So that's his legs done. So we'll just give those a second, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to grab a white out. And hopefully we can correct that mistake. There we go. A bit of white. I'm just going to pop it on the palette just to water it down a little bit. Alright, I'll just take our smaller brush. Just get some white on there. Just going to quickly go over that there. Just to give this something to layer over. Because if we try putting the colour back on, it's just not going to work. So I'll just leave that to dry, and then once that's dry, we'll just put the colour back on top. All right. Right. So we're gonna just quickly get our little hyena picture. Let's see, it's right. Okay. Brilliant. So just needed some my reference image in front. So what we're going to be doing now is going to be doing some stripes kind of down the legs here. And then obviously in the areas where it needs to have, and then we're going to get some black underneath here as well. And then hopefully it might start to take shape. So let's just get some black. There you go, grim black. I might not be talking very much for the next kind of 5-10 minutes, just because I really need to make sure that this goes on spot on. So it's too much, a lot less. With a hard bit, just getting it. Just on the tip there. There you go. So we'll just get some stripes going. Once I've kind of got the outline of these, it should be a lot easier. It's too much. Too much. There we go. That's a bit better. So we're just going to carry on the lines through the ferret. Just going to do it kind of blackens there as well. So he's kind of got like a gruff going in. So I'm just going to do the other side now. Just going to start with just kind of doing this bit here. So he's got like a little piece going under his chin. And then kind of goes down the middle here. So we're just going to want to just put a bit of black. And there we go. So it's very tough. I've never really done stripes before, so that's why I'm kind of just messing around with it for now. But and then we're just going to get the black tip here. Right. So let's see how that's looking now. Right. So obviously it looks a bit lighter and brighter here, and that's mainly because of the lights. So what we're going to hope for now is we're probably just going to dry brush this again. So the first thing we are going to do though is, if we have a quick nosy, our hyena's kind of got very black eyes, and he's got like a patch just here. So if we just do his snoot, just gonna do his eyes. So try and get a bit more. Right, so right, now we've done that correction on Yazneg, we can finish off that skin. So we're just gonna have to quickly get our mixture. So 1 bit of maggot bone and 1 mix of howling sand. There we go. Just get a mix around just till it's happily done. Right. your brush and wash. And then we're just going to quickly put that back there where it was. There we go. So that once that's dried, it should be fine. It is just a bit of a pain that we made that error, but it's fine. Happens. So, so we've done our stripes. So now what we're going to do is going to do a bit of dry brushing. So we're going to want a very pallid colour, a very sort of pale colour. So I think, nope. So the colour we're going to be wanting for this is pallid witch flesh. So pallid witch flesh is super pale. If I can find it, that'll be smashing. So the problem with having so many paints. In fact, right, so it won't be a second, guys. I'm just going to get a brush. Right, so got our dry brush now, and we've got our. So these are the dry brushes we're using. The Pro Arty dry brushes. They're really, really nice, actually. So yeah. I've not had a chance to use them. We have got some smaller ones somewhere. Let's see if I can find them. Oh, there we go. We've got a smaller one here, so that'll be a lot better for the areas we're about to do. So what we're going to do is we are going to just take our pallid born. So that was our original colour that we did on the werewolf. I'm going to mix it with a bit of white scar, and that's just to kind of thicken it up. So first thing I'll do is get some white scar on this brush. So we don't need copious amounts of this. We just need enough where once we mix it together. There you go, see. Now when we give that a mix, you can see we've got a nice kind of beigey colour now. All we're going to do is we're just going to do that. It's a bit too bright, I think. I think we just need a little more ratio in terms of the. There we go. Less white, more beige. There we go. That's a bit better. So we're just going to do this. To be honest, I don't like the stripes, so I think I'm just going to sort that out. So. I'm just going to get a slightly different colour going. Sadly, guys, I think what we're going to have to do is just cover up the we'll just cover that out there. And then what we'll do is just give that a wash. Before I try some stripes, I think we'll just stick to blending rather than something I haven't done before on stream. That's a good idea now. Alright, so now that that's on, we can just put our bony colour back on, pallid bone. There it is, pallid bone. Come back. Okay, guys. That's it off. Just going to put that colour back over the top now. It's not as happy with the stripes as I thought I might be, so it's fine. However, what we will do is we'll dry brush Yazneg though, and we'll get a nice grey out for that. Now we'll just get the sand golem, and we'll just put a blob of that. Oh, spewed out then. Bit too much, but it's fine. And then we'll just pop that back over the top of. Here you go. Yeah, that'll look fine. Once we're done, it'll be fine. We'll say everything can kind of be corrected. So yeah, it'll be all right. There we go. So not amazing, but it's fine. You know, sometimes we have to try different things if we're going to get better. Just going to get the fur around here done. Right, so there we go. So let's say sometimes it's worth trying things, sometimes it isn't. So it's not too bad on sort of fur, it's just these patches. So I think what I might have to do, I'm going to get some Screaming Skull. Just gonna do that over the top. Where we've done our stripes. It's not too bad on the fur. I just think I should have done it on the skin, and then, you know, obviously it's caused this to happen. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to give it a very nice base coat over the top. All right. And hopefully that will correct a lot of these issues we're having right now. So do this tail. So do you know what, actually, it's not turned out too bad considering we put all these black stripes on it. So let's just see how it looks from there. So I think we just need a little bit there, a little bit there, right. And then maybe a smidge there. So then it kind of matches. So yeah, I think we're happy with that for now. I'm going to take that dry brush, and we're not going to do that again. No, what we're going to do now is going to grab a grey, and we're just going to do some grey over the top now. We'll grab that out I was looking for it. There we go, Administratum grey. So we're just going to dry brush this all over Yazneg's cloth, basically. So I don't want too much of this. Okay. So now we've kind of got that grey hue on it now, rather than it being just black. So yeah. So now I think next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to give his body a quick wash. So the wash we're going to use for that is going to be Nolan oil. Once we find it. Always one of those colours where you just kind of wish you could find it. There we go. So we're just going to give his body a quick wash in Nolan oil here. Don't want too much on his body. We just want it to look quite sort of. There we go. So, and then we're also going to do his bone, because we want to get all those kind of shades right in the recesses. So, and also the other good thing about doing this is it'll help us with those like very small white patches. It will allow us to get those covered up. And then what we're going to do with the wash as well is on the fur, we're just going to do just on the edges of where the fur kind of stops/starts. So we don't want it to be, just to kind of highlight the fur a little bit, and just gonna go here. And then on the face, just gonna go. We're just gonna go get in his ear as well, just. There we go. So we're just getting it kind of, as you can see, just around the fur. I'm just going to get these kind of sort of creasy bits, I guess you can call them. I'm just going to do a bit underneath as well because it's a bit shadowy and stuff, so we want to kind of accentuate that as well. Still not sure what we're going to do for this hair here. I think it will vary depending on what we decide to do for the feathers. I'm going to have a quick look, see if we can get like a backwards picture of Yazneg. Let's have a look. Let's see. Right. Just can't find any reference pictures for it. Such a shame. Right, let's have a look at what we've done so far, and then we'll kind of go from there. So, I mean, we can stick with the pails, or we could go for something a bit more different. I'll tell you what, we've got the foot model. Put that one to the side whilst it's drying. I'll have a mess around with that one, eh? So just going to take the white scar again. And what we're going to do is we are going to just go where the fur is. Just going to hit it, so a bit of white. Same for that hair there. Right, we're going to have to do this bit anyway, so we'll just do it on the so I'll get that done whilst we're going at it. Eh? Right. Well then, we've got that done. So there's part of me that's like, let's just do red. Could just do red. We have got some nice colours for red. I think, you know what, we're going to go for red. Nice and easy, very straightforward. So we're going to use Slaughter Red. So that should hopefully be quite... Oh, it's very pink, actually. Don't know if I like that. We'll see. Let's tie it on a bit of the... If it's not... No, it's very pink. It's not... like red, you know? There we go, I'll try this one. Brilliant red. So there we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? As I say, foot model coming in clutch to be our little guinea pig. So this time we're going to do it, but this time we're going to take a bit of time painting because the mounted one, like I say, I kind of wish like you couldn't be dismounted and then you'd never have to worry. But I guess then like the game would be a bit broken, so we don't want that. And you know what? What we're gonna do? Just leave that there. Right, let's get a bit more of this poppy red on the go. We use it. Just realised I've missed a bit of fluff, so well, yeah, guess what we're going back and doing? I'm actually gonna just paint the face. Because I presume that was meant to be his belt. Like I say, sometimes some of these figures, even at the newer figures, they're just gonna be an absolute nightmare to paint. So we're just gonna leave that there. And then I think we're just going to get that fur done. I think we're pretty much done. We're very close. I think obviously I know the base isn't done. We're not planning to get that base done until obviously this is dry anyway. So usually I'm not very good at painting kind of fur and organic stuff. If I'm honest, this is the first time I've done like different colors on a beastie. I guess you can call it a beastie. It certainly is a wag. I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna go over that, and then I'm just gonna go over that one again. I'm gonna make sure I haven't missed any. What I could do is I could give him an underbelly, but it would kind of defeat the point. I'm just going to use my phone to take that off. There we go. Right, and then just get the fur again. We do have one thing to do, and that's the teeth. We'll do that. Don't worry. I forgot about the teethies. So I'm going to need the super fine brush, bit of white scar. I'm just going to use the toilet roll just to take some of that off. Because what we want to do is just kind of brush the white on, because we don't want to make it too white, because then it'll be a nightmare to paint again. So we're essentially doing a dry brush, but not a dry brush at the same time. So So what we're going to do now is we're just going to get the teethies done. So the way we're going to do that is we are just going to get a pinky colour on today. See what that colour looks like. Just have a look at our hyena reference. With an open mouth, that would be ideal. Do. It's very pink. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do, what we did earlier, is we're going to do another mix, and the way we're going to mix this is we're going to mix Purple Alchemy, so it's a strong pink apparently. We're just going to mix a bit of White Sky with it, hopefully. Yeah, that should do. Because he does have a bit of his gum showing through, so we want to try and get that. Oh, it's my PS5's just decided to turn itself on or off, one of the two. We'll be on Destiny later tonight. It's the dawning event, so that's why I'm doing this a little bit earlier, because obviously it's something we don't want to miss. Right, so we just want our bony matter. We're going to be using that for our skin colour. Find a little empty spot here. Say skin colour. It's for our teethy colour. Just get that just on the teeth. I mean, to be fair, we can get it in the gums because we can kind of treat it like a wash. And honestly, I'm actually really happy. I think this is a nice, quick, easy model. I think for an hour and a half, I'm quite happy with that. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to dash off for now. We've got 50 minutes till reset for Destiny. So I hope you all enjoyed. All right, have fun.